wanna live, ever wanna fly, ever wanna see the other side of the sky, ever wanna fuck true, live a lie, cause it seems like devils win and guys die, so I try. Which one am I? Can you decide? As if it was up to you, and which is not. Nigga want to substitute, but we know what to do with this spot. Really want no man, overstand my mission, too big, ever since a little kid. My mama knew this, hard-headed, I tried to deny, sometimes I ain't wanna do this, but my soul is too rich, too golden, too quick, hard enough to have to borrow up because my car was stuck. Wouldn't start that day, knowing I could be the richest nigga in my city if I went brought up this way. But I wasn't sorry to say that I struggled. That shit was a blessing. I'd rather be broke with a goal in my message and let these labels take control of my essence. You know that. You don't know what you're talking about. Bro said, why did you watch bro rapping about Jesus was homeless, then come on here like it was your idea? It's like, I'm trying to make up in my mind whether or not I'm gonna put you on. Like, I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna put you on or not. You don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about. Y'all just be clueless. Then you can't even read. You don't know how to read. You don't know how to look at stuff and just read it. Like, it's okay though. It's okay. Yeah, helmets. Was Jesus really his name? If you're awake and alert out of knowledge, please don't disrespect by calling him the wrong name. I'm trying to figure out in my mind whether or not I'm gonna put you on. I'm trying to figure out in my mind whether or not I'm gonna put you on. Cause if I call you on here, if I say go live with me, it's gonna get real different for you, and people don't be going back to how they was before they get off these lives with me. So I'm trying to figure out whether or not how I'm gonna respond to what you just said to me. I'll start with this. You don't even know whether or not he existed. Can we start there? Can we begin at that point? Before you start talking about whether or not the name is this or that, because there are literally different pronunciations and translations for people's names in different languages, including my name. My own name has different translations. Jesus' name has different translations. If you understand linguistics, you'll know that the name will change with the language. That's how this goes. So, what do you mean calling him by the wrong name? First of all, can we establish him? Can you prove that he ever existed? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Christ is an energy. Oh, man. Trying to figure out whether I'm going to put you on or not. Christ is a word. Let's start there. And it has a meaning. Like words tend to have. Christ being an energy, Christ consciousness, all of that is like metaphysical Bible, Charles Fillmore. That comes later. Before then, that the actual language existed. Okay, you say Yahshua doesn't like being called by. I gotta pull you up. How you went from that? Huh? Okay, can you help me understand what you're saying about Jesus not liking to be called? I mean,
Okay,
Yeshua not liking to be called Jesus. Can you help me? How you get to that conclusion?
because even though different languages translate into other words, still it took for the European and American language to come up with the J and translated it to Jesus. When Jesus was never a thing, why do you think Mexicans and other Latinos use Jesus as their names? Jesus is pronounced Jesus, not Jesus. But that's on to something else, And Yahshua is his name. Christ, as we say, is within our seven, as most of everybody know, but we have 9 chakras. And it's all
What are
about
the 9
activating.
chakras?
What are the 9 chakras? You have chakras within your body and chakras with outside of your body. I'm sorry, in a house with a lot of people. So, but yeah,
Yeah, what are the 9 chakras?
what are the nine? I don't have my paperwork with me right now to list everything off.
That's just 9.
But yeah, there's nine chakras, just like it's 9 dimensions.
Okay, what are the 7 chakras?
The seven chakras, you got your root to your crown. You
Okay,
know,
and you
yeah.
don't know the other 2?
No, I know them, but right now my brain is not calling out their names directly because I got a lot of noise in the background, as you can hear. So,
Okay, where
but
did you
yeah.
hear that? Where did you hear that there were 9 chakras?
Where did I hear it? It wasn't in no book,
It's in my book.
huh?
It's in my book
Oh well, it
that I
wasn't in
wrote
no
in
book.
2020. I wrote this in 2022.
Yeah, I didn't read this from any book. Most of the knowledge that I got came from me going within and actually,
No, I'm
you
I'm
know,
literally asking. I mean it. Like, I don't want you to say the within part, because if you were going within, I'm trying to figure out how you don't know it. You see what I'm saying? I want to know where you heard it from. Nine
I
chakras.
never heard it from anywhere. That's what I'm saying to you. I didn't hear it from anywhere. And I haven't read your book. I do follow you, but I haven't read your book. To be honest, I didn't even know you wrote a book.
So you okay? Do you think that's okay to say? Like, you saying you went within, but you don't know them?
Yes, I do know them, but like I just said, my brain is not thinking of the technical names for all of them right now because I have a lot of noise, which is very distracting. That's what I just said.
I thought you said it was because you didn't have your paperwork with you.
Yeah, and that too. I don't have my paperwork just to go over it and be like, yeah, because I write down everything. Once I go into meditation and go into self, I write down what comes out of it. So, you know.
Okay. So do you think that they made the letter J just to change Jesus' name?
Okay, do you want my truth or do you want the truth that just sounds good to everyone?
I want the truth. Neither one of those.
Okay, so to your question, my thought when it comes to the real Ijin, it was made and created as a control atmosphere for the people. Even to the letter J, it was made just to control. The book isn't as truthful as everyone thinks, but it do have truth in it. Uh,
Okay. So when did the letter J come to be?
the letter J came in, I believe it was like in the 1600s.
Or the 16th century? Somewhere
Yeah,
around there?
yeah.
Okay. So if that's your answer, you you saying that they only made that letter for Jesus' name?
I mean, I couldn't tell you
Or did
what.
the letter exist before? Meaning, like, okay, before they translated and said, okay, this will be Jesus' name now, did the letter exist, or did they translate the book after?
I think they created the letters and then translated the book after.
Okay, well, then that's what I'm saying. And then there's a language already, right? English is a language.
Yeah.
All right, so if English is a language, right, then that
Hmm.
means that Jesus translates from Yeshua into English, and they put the J there, like Joshua. You see what I'm saying? Not just Yeshua, Joshua, Judah. It's not just Jesus. Why do y'all stop at Jesus? Some people say Yehuda. Some people say Yochanan, or some people say Jonathan. Some people say John, Yochan. Okay, Yochanan. So it's not just Jesus, it's that translation of that Y sound, Yah, to become Ye or He, as you see in the Spanish language, Jesus or Jesus. So it is still the same name, it's just in a different language. Literally, that's all that there is to it. There is no sinister plot. That's just linguistics.
I see your interpretation of it, but to my inner soul, it still doesn't make it where I'm gonna say, okay, that's the truth, and no. But
I don't want you just to say it's true. I want you to look at what I said. And when you look at what I said, then maybe you'll be able to make a decision further from there. You still don't have to accept it when you look it up. The
Hmm.
point is, you and I are speaking English. So there are a lot of words that we will use that have certain sounds and pronunciations and phonemes that don't exist in other languages. So when you translate it, they have to be translated into how we speak. Same reason why people have accents, because they're used to pronouncing sounds, letters certain ways. And when they see these letters and they're being told this is that sound, their brain has already registered what that's supposed to sound like.
Well, yeah, that is true, but English is my third language. I don't speak languages from this planet. So,
Okay, okay,
hmm
okay. What's your first language?
my first language, you wouldn't understand it.
What is it?
It doesn't have a name, and it's telepathic.
How do you know it's a language?
How do I know? Because I do. There's nothing no human could tell me about things that humans don't understand.
I'm not asking whether you're a human.
I'm in a human form. That
Yeah,
is true.
you just
I'm
made
in
a
a
human
human.
cough.
Yeah, I did. But that doesn't mean that I'm actually human just because you see a human. There are different species within the human skin.
Okay, can you fathom your language?
Can I fathom my language? Yes, I can. But am I able to speak it to people on here? No, I am not. I'm not breaking spiritual law for anyone or
Which spiritual
anything.
law is that?
What spiritual law is that? Speaking something to someone who is not permitted.
How do you know I'm not permitted?
You may be permitted, but aren't we on a live? Who's to
Okay, how will
say
you know that they're not permitted?
how?
Yeah, how do you know they're not
Because
permitted?
because I know.
Okay, am I permitted?
Are you permitted? Not for the first language. The second language,
Okay, let's
yes.
do the second one. All right, just
Hmm.
help me understand. How many letters are in your second language or
There are
sigils?
none.
There are no sigils.
Mm-mm.
Okay, how many phonemes? Meaning, if you were to interpret these sounds as vibrations, how many different types of vibrations does this second language pose or make?
It depends on which part of the continent of this planet Earth that you stand on.
I'm in America. Where you at?
I'm in America as well, but I'm
Okay,
just
so that's
saying,
what we got.
yeah.
We got where we are. We
But
standing on the
no,
map.
no,
Okay,
no. Listen
okay,
to what I'm saying,
okay,
right? We may be in America
okay.
currently at this time.
Mhm.
The American versus different parts of this planet Earth, from the core to the ice wall and everything, determines the amount that is in there.
All right, how
It's
much is in
it's
there
not
for America?
for America. We have
Yeah.
15.
Okay, can you give me the 15?
No, I cannot.
I thought you said, okay, you said I was qualified or that I was
You are qualified. Listen
permitted.
to me. Listen to me. Don't try to flip my words. Yeah, I'm not one of them. I did say you are qualified, but you are not qualified for me to speak it to you via this live. That is what I'm trying to say to you. I cannot. That will be me breaking spiritual law, and no one walking this planet, this thing we call Earth, this dragon layer will cost
So you
me
speak
to
light
go
language?
to. Huh?
You speak light language?
Yes, I do.
How many?
I speak multiple.
How many?
Multiple. It depends on which dimension I'm in.
Well, you're in the
Which
third
look,
dimension right now with me.
I,
That's how this sound is
I
able to
know,
reach you, all of that.
I know what dimension I'm actively in via my
Okay,
body.
in the third dimension, how many light languages do you speak or comprehend?
In the third dimension, for
Yes.
three-dimensional people, I only speak two, and I only speak that when I'm alone or in presence only of the same type of
Oh,
people.
okay. Who taught you the language?
Who? It was born with me. Nobody taught me.
Nobody taught you the language?
Mm-mm.
How did you know it was a language?
How did I know? Because I mean, it's just like you grew up knowing you were a boy. Nobody really had to tell you you
No,
were a
people
boy.
taught me
But
that. I had no idea what a boy was.
I mean, that is,
Neither did you. We had no idea. We had to be taught gender. We didn't know what that was.
like, yeah, in a sense, yeah, you may be correct with that. But,
That's true. I'm only going to speak the truth. Okay. So you know what a language is. A language is something that is used to help communicate ideas, sound,
Mm-hmm.
sigils, things like that that communicate ideas and help people get in touch with one another and not just have to rely on what you're saying as telepathic. So you're saying that it is a language, but then you're saying it's telepathic. That's kind of problematic.
No, 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 it is not, because I said I speak multiple languages, and one of them is telepathic. The other is a light language, and I only speak 15 different variations in that language on the plan of America. That is what I said. Those are multiple different languages. You cannot convert the two, and you cannot convert my words to twist them. I'm not one of those. I know what I said to you, and I stand on
I know you're
everything
saying
that I
you're not one
said.
of those. Can I bring something to your attention? The first thing you said was permission. I suggested qualify, and you took on qualify as your own word. So I'm not trying to say you're not telling the truth. What I'm saying is, though, you actually are more open to suggestion than you think, because you didn't even say qualify. You said permitted. And you were speaking on permitted as in terms of spiritual law. Now I'm asking you to cite what law is that? What is that law and where does it come from?
The law and where it comes from
Yeah, what is that
is
spiritual
from
law that says if you're not permitted, you're
is
not able to
is
hear?
from the great mother, the
Okay, what's her
great
name?
father.
What are their names?
What are their names? Let's start off with Ishtar. Let's go there.
Oh, then you okay, so we go on Greek?
I mean, if you want to say Greek, yeah, but she was the first, you know.
Greek is not first.
Greek itself, of what we know, may not be first, but Ishtar wasn't just Greek, okay? If you really know, go do your homework on Ishtar. You could actually look her up. She's in a physical body on this plane right now.
Oh, where is she at?
Oh, she's in Vegas if you really want to know, if
Oh,
she's
okay.
not traveling.
Why,
Hmm.
how do you know she's in Vegas?
How do I know?
Yeah.
Sweetheart, I'm going to just say this to you. There are certain things that the human aspect doesn't just find as answers and, like, oh, how do you know? There's a secret code that some people have that you could just determine things.
Okay.
And
How limp is that? Do you think that that branches out your code that you have access to with the information? Does that branch out all across the earth?
yes, it does.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Are you ready?
Okay.
I'm holding something in my hand right now, and I want you to tell me exactly what it is based on the codes you have access to.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm holding something in my hand right now, and I want you to tell me exactly what it is. I'm on Earth, by the way, in America, so it shouldn't be hard to locate me. And based off of the codes you have access to, if you're telling the truth of what you just said, it encompasses the entire Earth plane. If you're one of those, I'm asking you to tell me which object it is that I'm holding in my hand. What is it?
So basically, you're asking me to remote view you right now in the
I don't
room that you're
mind. I don't
sitting.
mind. They do it enough in the CIA.
I know they
I'm
do,
under I'm
but
under surveillance of by just about every group of
see, that's the
people, all kinds
thing.
of
I
people.
can't do just what the CIA does, sweetie, because that's breaking spiritual law. You're not
How
supposed
about
to just
this? How
remote
about this?
view anyone. And
Listen,
before, even
listen.
with your
You have
permission,
my
I have
permission.
to ask permission to
You
get
have my
granted to
permission.
even
You
remote
have my
view
permission.
you.
You have my permission.
I don't need your permission. Your permission is
Yes, you
the
do.
second permission that I would need
Okay,
to
who's the
even be
first?
able to remote view you.
Who's the
The
first?
first the first one I would not be able to go to on this live or pull them up on this live.
Okay, and
Hmm.
then let's say we get off of this live. You go
Hmm.
ask them permission. You're gonna come back and tell me they said no.
I don't know what they're going to say,
What language will they speak?
what language they'll speak to me at that moment. They might speak English to me, they might speak a different language. I can't tell you exactly what language they will speak to me at the
So
moment.
your access
Mm.
codes are limited. Then you need
Mm,
permission. You don't have all access. This is live.
actually, actually, it's not that my access codes are limited. I just go by permission where I'm not pulling my rank because I'm not supposed to
Oh well,
expose
then.
who I am.
So then you're
Hmm.
saying you're not one of those, right?
Because
Because
I'm
one
not
of those
supposed to
would
show
not
you
need
who I
no.
am.
One of those would not need permission for one
Right.
to
And
do
what I'm
one.
saying to you is, sweetheart, I'm not supposed to tell you exactly who I am. So I
That has
play
nothing to do
ball.
with it. You just
I,
said that you have
I play.
access to all of the
I play.
information on the earth at any given time, according to your codes. I'm holding something in my hand. I would like you to tell me what it
Mhm.
is.
And again, you're asking me to break my spiritual law, and I am not going to
Your
do that.
spiritual law prohibits
Yes.
you from telling the
Yeah.
truth.
No, it does not prohibit me from telling the truth,
Then
but
why did you just lie?
it prohibits me to do certain things for others' comforts
All right,
and
it'll make me
acknowledgement.
comfortable if you could prove. Listen, I would love to see if you're one of those ones because we'll have company. How about that? I'll say it like that. I would love to see if you're one of those ones. So right now, if you could show that to me by just telling, it's one word. Just tell me what I'm holding. You don't have to remote view. You should already have access to it. By the way, it shouldn't even be something you
Hmm.
should have to go and get. You said you have access to it already. All I'm
I
asking
mean,
you to do
before
is
you
say the
even
word.
told me, my
What is it?
brain said pen, but I was like, nah, he's not holding a pen. And, I know that's the dark side of me saying a pen,
Okay.
but, Faison, when I tell you, like
Wait,
me, you
wait,
could
wait,
have
wait,
a.
wait. We got somewhere. You said your
Mm-hmm,
brain said pen, but it was the dark side of you that was saying pen.
mm-hmm.
Okay, what does the light side of you say?
The light side of me says follow your intuition and don't answer that question because
Your light
he.
side is a lawyer, isn't it? Your light side must be an attorney, because yeah, your light side knows. Don't you can't bear false witness. I'll show you what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It was a unicorn, and no, it's not associated with or attached to a pen. It's attached to some keys. And the reason why I asked you that is the same reason why I asked all of y'all who claim to speak that language, those
Mm-hmm.
languages, light languages. First of all, I didn't grow up around people that said they needed permission. If anything, they would use their intuition, but they would use their intuition if they were going into territories that were marked dangerous. My house is not
Mm-hmm.
dangerous. My home is not dangerous. Especially if I open it up and say, you're invited in. You just watched the Sinners movie, didn't you?
Actually, I did.
Okay, cool. So I'm not saying you're a vampire, but if you were, I still gave you permission to come in. It's nothing that you can cause harm to here anyway. It's
Mm-hmm.
protected, but it's not dangerous. So you could have told me, hey, you're holding a unicorn. And I would have been like, listen, y'all, this lady here speaks the truth. We don't have to play these games of I got to get permission and all this. I didn't grow up around that. I never saw people have to
You
do that.
you may not have grew up around that, but the way that you grew up does not mean that that's the way that I grew up. And the way that I went into my spiritual self, the first thing that I said that I would do, regardless of what and who it is ask for permission before I step forth with anything. Because, that was something that I said, especially once I realized who I was and what I was. Just because who I am and what I am is not your average thought. Like, a regular human wouldn't be able to fathom what I am and who I am.
It
So
makes me,
that's
this,
that's why I
mm-hmm,
say permission,
I
because
understand. I understand. So this is, if you can hear me, if you're someone who believes that they're a little more on the spiritual side, I think
mhm
you will be able to hear me.
mhm
Encounters like these really make me think about the trauma, the trauma in the community, things that people have gone through that push them away from their own humanity. Uh, Even statements like "these humans" or "I'm not human." It makes me wonder what have y'all gone through, because there's an opportunity for truth to come up, and then it seems that there's something else present blocking the truth from being able to get through.
oh, I mean,
Does what
again,
I'm saying make sense to you?
oh, it makes perfect sense. And again, that would be a conversation that I couldn't have with the 93 watchers.
No, I'm
It's
not
not about
asking you.
hiding my truth,
No, I'm not
because
asking
i
you what it is. I said this is what. Okay, so
i i know.
here's the truth. Here's the truth.
I just said
There was no way for
I
you
could
to
we
know.
could have a conversation about it, but I
Here's the
would
truth.
not be able to
I
speak
got you.
on it
I
in
got
front
you.
of the 93 watchers. I
I
do
got you.
live in my truth. I don't hide my truth, but there are
Listen, listen,
certain
listen. I got you.
things.
I got you. I got you. Check this out.
Okay.
Here's the truth.
Mhm.
There was no way for you to tell me what object I was holding, because you do not possess the ability to remote view.
That is one gift that I haven't touched into, but
Listen,
I just started.
the truth is,
Honestly, I'm
you
I'm
do
I'm
not
telling I'm
have
tell
the
I'm telling
ability
you.
to
Listen,
remote
listen
view.
to me. Actually, I can in certain degrees,
That's not
but
an answer.
again, but
What do you mean?
again, I
Okay,
did
I'll take it. I'll take that answer. What do you mean by in certain degrees?
in certain degrees. What I mean by that is things that are not of people. I could just go in remote view. I can't just remote view. The CIA, like you had mentioned, the CIA does it. Yeah, they do it. And they break many different spiritual laws when they do it. I do not follow the path of those. It's just random with the breaking laws. Like, it's just
Because
like
those are
me.
not spiritual laws. Okay, let me ask you a question.
A gift,
If
a
we have a
gift
spirit,
that you have, a
if we
gift
have
that you
spiritual
have
law,
is a spiritual law. A gift that you have is a spiritual law. Even though people may not see it like, oh, I have the ability to do this, I could just do it. No, it is a spiritual law associated with that gift. Regardless if you could hear
spiritual law
different
can be broken.
frequencies, yes, spiritual laws could be broken.
So then,
And
where are the spiritual police? If there are spiritual laws, who are the law keepers?
there isn't police as you would know like here on this plane, but there is a spiritual court, and those court makers, you won't see them in person.
Okay, so then they're just allowed to break the law and nobody holds them accountable?
Oh, they get held accountable.
By who?
By who? I just told you by who.
By a spiritual council?
Yes, by a spiritual
Okay,
count.
where do they exist?
Where do they're not existing in the 3D,
I
but
didn't
they
ask
watch
if
over
they
the
exist in the
3D.
3D. I said, where do they exist?
They exist in the 5 and 6 dimension.
Where?
I just said in the 5 and 6 dimension, they don't have no country side to them.
How do you know that? You been there?
Yes, I have.
And where were they when you got there?
They were on a spaceship the time that I had to go.
Okay,
Hmm.
so then they're on a spaceship in the fifth dimension. Why didn't you just say that?
Because where they are for different reasons and different people, it's not always the same. And
Okay, when
sometimes
you
they
went there, they
close.
were on a spaceship. What color was the
Hmm.
spaceship?
The color was white and gold.
Okay, and what color were they?
What color were they? They had no color.
How
There
did you
was
see
no
them?
hue. How did I see them? Because I could see energy as well.
What did it look like?
What do they look like? Energy.
And okay, what type of energy? Heat transfer, electricity, what type?
Mm. It was a couple that was heat, a couple that was electric, but
What
it's like,
colors?
or what colors? It was different colors there, but the main color that was there because of what I did was red. And, they were highly ticked at what I did,
Oh,
you
so
know.
they look red.
Hmm.
So here's what you don't understand. You first said they didn't have a color.
The aura color that was around them, but as far as them being like beings, what color they were as beings, that was a no-go. I know what I said. Trust me. You may be asking me questions, you may be trying to flip it like I don't understand what I'm saying. I understand exactly what I'm saying, and I know exactly what I'm saying. And literally, again, like how your medium brown skin, they didn't have that. They weren't gray, they weren't blue, they weren't orange, they wasn't yellow. But a few of them, because of what I did have a color of red around them. But them themselves, they did not have or possess a color hue that human forms will understand. That is all of what I said.
I do understand it. You just said red. How do you think that's
Right.
incomprehensible?
Quite a few of them had red around them. That is what I said. I did not say that they were red. They had red with them. That's what I was saying.
Well, you're changing it again because I asked
I'm
you.
not changing it
I
again.
said, so you're saying they were red, the ones you saw. You said yes. I said, well, that's the interesting part because earlier you said it. The point is, we were
Hmm.
seeing them. If you were seeing them and you said you saw the color red and
Mm-hmm.
you saw that their spaceship was white and gold,
Mm-hmm.
and this means that that's not fifth dimensional. That's still within the third dimensional plane of reflection. Light is reflecting off of the object to allow you to know what color you're seeing. That's the visible light spectrum. That's not beyond the visible light spectrum of 3D. That's still 3D.
Mm.
Even
Okay.
energy is these are charged particles within the third dimension. That's not fifth dimensional. So if you say, okay, how did you get to them? Did you astral project?
If you asking me questions that you already know and you trying to debunk the answers, go ahead and answer the questions themselves because I'm not here to be your fool. Okay. And yes, I did astral project. I do that quite often. Been doing that since I was
Let me ask you a
born
question. How do you
deceased.
think I was supposed to know that? How was I supposed to know that? There are some people who claim that they were literally taken from their homes and brought to other places. Some people claim that they had a dream or sleep incubation. Not everybody says astral project. It was a good guess, but I didn't know that. Okay, so then you astral projected to them into that plane, which was still in the third dimensional plane to some degree because you were able to see them. Yes,
Yes,
they
you
have a
can say that.
location. Okay, you went to what you're calling the fifth dimension. How did you know it was the fifth dimension?
Because not only did we rise, but it wasn't no short 30-minute span or anything like that.
So
They
nobody
met me.
said,
They met me.
okay.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. They met me where I was at the state that I was when it all happened, and they took me where I felt I didn't belong at the time because I lacked some understanding to it all, right? Because of what I did, I didn't even understand what I was doing. I was joking around with some friends, if you could call them that. So it wasn't like, oh, we just stayed here. Yes, when I got there, I was able to see, but color was of an abyss. Like there was no such thing. When I came back, I seen the colors again. I knew what the ship looked like as I got out of it. But outside of that, that's where it all, and it's not that it goes dark because upon this 3D, everything isn't just dark. A lot of people think it is, but it's not just darkness.
What is it?
I'm gonna let you answer that question within yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm going to throw it right back and say, please answer the question. What is it? If it isn't darkness, what is it?
I mean, we know darkness and lightness, right? So a lot of people think outside of the 3D is just dark. No, it's not. You do have some lightness within it, but depending on your level of energy and being, it could be whatever you're tied to. Because not all demons are just what you hear is demons, and not all angels is what you hear is angels.
So
And as
light.
hmm
So you're saying light.
I just said, it's lightness and darkness, as
What's the
humans know.
source? If there's light over there, what's the source of light?
What is the source of light? The source of light is the energy within the fields of each atom. It doesn't need a source. It doesn't need a plug in like it does on this earth.
No, the sun has the sun is a source of light. The stars are also. It doesn't have to be plugged up. I'm not saying something needs to be plugged up. I'm saying if you're seeing light, where's the light coming from? And you're telling me the light is coming from atoms in the fifth dimension? Atoms exist in the third dimension, not in the fifth dimension.
Sweetheart, I just use atoms as an example
You didn't say
of
that. You said it's
the
coming
thing.
from the atoms.
No, I didn't say it's coming from the atoms.
So what
I
did you say?
said it's coming from the energy, the atoms, and likeness. I was using that as an example, not as a this is the only way.
Okay, energy is third dimensional. Energy exists in the three dimensional plane, not in 5D. I got energy on my. If I turn on my stove, there will be energy. If I this phone that we on, energy. Energy is also a word that means the capacity to do work. So it's a physics term. It has absolutely nothing to do with beyond the third dimension. As a matter of fact, closest that they get to it when they talk about dark matter, that there's no energy. So beyond dark matter, if y'all telling me y'all got beyond dark matter and y'all figured it out, why are y'all still saying things like energy and vibration and atoms and light and dark? You supposed to be going beyond this observable universe. Unless you're saying you just went to a different place in this universe. That's not fifth dimensional. That's still three dimensional. You just went across the room. Somebody said energy is multi-dimensional. Yeah, it's going to take a long time. I thank you for coming on here because we started off with Yeshua and the Jesus thing. I want to make sure that you listen, okay? Because some people that came on here, they get different resolves. Some people they change after they get on here with me. Some people stay the same. You know the truth. You know you don't remote view. You know you could not have accessed my home from where you are. That's not one of your abilities. You also know that you haven't been beyond this plane other than, again, your experiences with astral projection within this plane. You haven't been beyond that. You know that. And you also know that you don't speak languages beyond the language you know or the languages you've learned. You know these truths. Will you deal with them truthfully? I'm gonna tell you this. It's all up to you. You don't owe me an explanation, anything like that. I've been around long enough and strong enough. I see through everything. However, I think you got on here with me for a reason. Because if you sit with yourself, this shadow tonight, and you accept each truth that I just reflected back onto you, you already know them. There will be doors that can open for you to actually access these codes we're talking about. But they will not allow you to access these codes if you're going to act like you have them. You understand that? Then they'll shut the doors. The doors will be shut. You want to access them higher levels? Go through it. I can't walk around and say I'm a physicist and I haven't taken the classes. I can't walk around and say I'm a police officer and I never went through the academy. I don't have a badge number. I'm not registered with the penal system. I can't walk around and say I'm an imam and I never got brought through the rites of passages. I never even took shahada. Certain things you won't be able to just claim, but it'll sound like you can for yourself and for the people in the environment that you're in. You came on here to elevate though. So I want to leave you with that. Sit with yourself. Say, who was this man? Not even who was this man. Why did I talk to him today? I could have been anywhere. I came on his live. I commented something. Why do we have this encounter? And I want you to challenge yourself to deal with everything that I challenged you on. Say, do I actually know how to, on cue, remote view? If the answer is no, guess what? You just did yourself a service because now you're not going to play like you know, and then doors can be opened for you to find out how. Am I actually telepathic? When people are around me, can I actually have a conversation with them without opening my mouth? Back and forth, not me just reading their body language. You understand? If you say no, guess what? You just opened the door to be able to access telepathy. So this was for you. Thank you for coming on here. I love you. Take your time, sit with yourself, and peace be on you.
Alrighty. Same to you.
All right. What are we talking about? Where we at now? Where we at with it? That was so gentle. Yeah, for sure. And I know how this stuff go. You gotta definitely watch your mouth when you're talking to the sisters, no matter what it is. I know better than that. So don't ever let nobody tell you I'm clueless. We'll be firm, but you gotta watch how you talk to the sisters. As soon as you get to speak in my eye, I'd be like, what was said? I didn't say nothing. I would tell her the truth. Nah, it's all love. Because I think once people, again, people stand on that truth, I think they're going to be able to ascend because y'all powerful enough at least to build these realities for yourself. You'll be dangerous in the real one. Anything that's observable at all in this dimension, from this dimension by human beings, is three-dimensional. Even what they call in time. What I mean by three-dimensional is within the third dimensional reality. Ain't nobody gonna be able to say anything other than that. Not even the scientists who sit there for hours every day for years trying to calculate eight dimensions, quasi particles, and reflections of the earth on different dimensions and other dimensions shadowing onto this one. They still say we can't see beyond this shit. We think it's something beyond there, but we really can't see it. All we see is shadows, which means we can't even observe the thing. Even when they're talking about dark matter or things that the phenomenon that they observe outer space, according to what they say, when they'll say that certain bodies or stars are moving at a certain pace, and naturally they would be moving faster on the outskirts of it, like on the spirals or the arms of galaxies. And then when they get to a certain point, these planetoids or these celestial bodies seem to speed up, they warp, and then they slow back down as if they passed by something that had a stronger gravitational pull. You understand? So that would be them still saying we can't see this thing. We're not able to detect it. Okay? You can't see into singularity, meaning the black hole, the center of the black hole. They can't even observe it. All they can see is the effect of whatever it is. So on the outside or the outskirts of this reality may just be more of this reality. It's like you telling me you're looking at a brick wall, and because you don't know what's on the other side of it, that there's either nothing there or that there's something more supreme and divine beyond that wall. But you don't know. So multidimensional deals with mathematics, not just this pseudoscientific or sci-fi reality. Objects have multiple dimensions. You understand that? So if y'all want to play these games, we're gonna play. Just don't be running. I gotta go though. I got stuff to do. What I'm doing. Navy shirt, black shirt, navier shirt, less navy shirt, black shirt. So nigga, that's your wardrobe? That's exactly the wardrobe. Black and white shirt. Oh, there's some diversity in black and white. Can we discuss on summoning your guardian angel? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That falls within the realm of belief. I've always questioned that, like, what if what we're so excited for is exactly like this plane? I haven't seen anything beyond this plane. Everywhere I done went, I done astral projected, left my body, all of that shit still look. Sometimes it look brighter, sometimes it look darker, still look like this. Arsenio, what are you talking about, bro? I'm gonna pull you up here for a little bit, bro. I don't know, bro. Y'all be talking in the comments, bro. What you actually talking about? What am I doing? I'm going black shirt. Yo, what are you talking about? You got documentation for?
Because he asked me if I had, he said, where's your proof?
Of what?
That energy is multidimensional.
Okay, explain how energy is multidimensional.
Well, for one, um, for instance, things that are unseen, according to, like, unseen forces or unseen energies, are considered, according to my research and what I've connected the dots on, being something that's being projected or sourced from a different dimension.
All right, you mind questions?
Out of my questions.
Okay, partially because I probably will let you speak a little longer. but I'm about to have to get off here in like
I know.
15
I
minutes.
heard you said, yeah, facts,
Okay,
facts.
cool. So what do you mean by unseen? When we talk about unseen energies, can you
Hmm.
give me an example?
One, air.
Air is an energy.
It is.
Okay, explain how air is an energy.
Well, I mean, well, yeah, air, wind.
These are
Uh,
these are energies.
these are energies. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, can you explain how air is an energy?
Um, because it's an element, and all elements are also a source of energy. First off, all things are energy, and energy is consciousness, and consciousness is energy. So, um, all things of like the elements, nature, Mother Nature would essentially be an energy as well. So, air, wind, that type of thing is also energy. And these things, whether you can see them or not, like I said, can be sourced from other fabrics of energy resonance, thus putting it in a different dimension, essentially, or scientifically, or even mathematically as well. Because I know you always
So
use.
what type? Yeah, what type of energy is air?
Uh, well, I mean, there's lots really. One being quantum. Uh, that energy is there. That's like a base tone, a base energy, like the quantum field, the unified fields of energy that we exist within. Um, I know that's a source for like elements and elemental energies, like air and wind and water and fire. If this is making sense, I'm really trying to answer it in a way to where, because I mean, I can do the breakdowns with you and stuff. Because like I said, I pay attention to you a lot. I come to you a lot all the time. We actually know each other in person, or we met, but I can break it down in terms of like just the different energies that are there. Like I said, quantum energy is there, light energy is there, dark energy is there, um, solar and lunar. Uh, I mean, there's others too, but I mean, then I would want to just get into the breakdowns. Would you probably get out my notepad and things like that, and just start breaking down like the outline or the chart of it or the template.
So okay, so I'm looking into what you're saying right now. I'm
Okay.
seeing that you can source air. I understand about wind energy. You can source elements. Air itself doesn't seem to be an energy,
Mm-hmm.
meaning like itself is not energy, but
Okay.
you can source energy from it.
Type
Uh,
shit, type shit.
even let's okay, so let's say air is an energetic source or energy source.
Mm-hmm.
Water, fire, energy sources in multiple types of ways.
Right.
Which one of these is multidimensional?
For sure, water, air as well.
Okay, explain how water is multidimensional.
Um, well, I can only explain things off of the research that I do and the experiences that I had, but in things that I can do tangible right now is just convey my research or my experience as well. But water is not only water is not only just sourced from something that we have in our 3D spectrum. Um, because there's different stages of hydrogen or the elements that, like for instance, another form of water that's also multidimensional or mixed in multidimensional would be crystal or plasma, which it has been proven that there is a plasma type energy within like the astral realm or the ethereal realms, and those are 4D, 5D plus. Um, and water congruently being an energy right along with that plasma shares those same those same tones of energy, like that same source of energy. Like water can also be in the astral realms as well, like, but it'll come off like plasma or sometimes
Okay.
even gas.
So here's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Everything you're saying is states of matter.
Okay.
Water, crystal, that's a solid. It's a state of matter. Plasma is a state of matter. Call it the fourth state.
This is
Uh,
this is
Even if it appeared to be plasma, the appearance would constitute light reflection. And if you're able to see anything that has an appearance, the light is reflecting off of it back to you. Not only do you have a sensory input compartment at that point that
mhm,
allows for you to take in that information, it's also saying that there's a source of light which also travels in 3D reality. Light itself, the photons, electromagnetism, the particles and the waves. All of this is 3D reality. So
this
I'm not hearing multidimensional. I'm hearing you say
but
5D. I'm hearing you say beyond 3D. I'm not
no,
hearing you explain it in a way that says this is actually happening. Everything you're saying, I
yeah,
can, if I were in a building, because they got certain buildings where simulations are carried out,
right,
I can cause and build a simulation in this reality, 3D reality, including plasma. Even though it's a fourth state of matter,
right.
matter, the number four, and the word state and what it means all exist within the third dimensional realm. You understand?
That's fact.
So I'm not seeing multidimensional yet. Not in the way the spiritual community uses it. Multidimensional doesn't even mean what the spiritual community uses it as. Is basically
That's
saying, go ahead.
no, that's true. No, you're right. You're right about that. I'm glad that you brought up the spiritual community perspective on it because, um, in a sense, I have graduated beyond just the spiritual community parameters of understanding, the fabrics of
You're
certain
still
science,
using a lingo, you know that, right?
of course, in order to still try to convey a message to the masses or those that resonate with the message that I'm trying
So
to.
it would help us the most if you give us the messages based off of science that these spiritual people are using these words from the
Okay.
scientific fields and disciplines. It'll help us the most, especially if you're doing research, because I'm not shutting down the possibility of the elements, energy, or any of these things. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, I can. It went out a little bit, but I hear you.
Okay, I'm not shutting down the idea that these energies and things like that could exist beyond the third dimensional plane. What I'm saying is it's not being substantiated yet. And I'm very familiar with these terms. I'm very familiar with what you're saying.
Hmm.
And I know that, okay, that's why I say air itself is an energy. It could be an energy source, and like water and all of that.
Right.
But air is a mixture of substances. So somebody even tried to say the other day, I didn't get time to grill them, but they were trying to say that breath is a substance. First of all, breath is a cycle. And if you're breathing in air, or oxygen, okay, you're not just breathing in oxygen, you're breathing in nitrogen, you're breathing in other gases also.
It's
And
fact.
those may be oxygen is a substance. You go to the more quantum level, but air itself is not a substance. Breath is not a substance. So I don't be even having time to tackle all of the things that people would just be running them out there saying because they wanted to argue spirit. The
Right.
point is, if we're going to use these words, I'm just saying let's know what they mean. And right now, I'm not seeing how energy itself is multidimensional. However, you can come back when we got more time, maybe tomorrow. I know I got an interview tomorrow. Or you come on sometime tomorrow or whenever I get back on live
Yeah.
and you'll have your papers or whatever. Even if you don't have your papers, have your notes on your phone, be ready. And
Facts.
I go to my computer, we'll look this up and we'll see if we can substantiate it. If not, then we got to move on from it until we can.
For sure. For sure. I respect that. Absolutely.
Well, much love, bro.
Hey, likewise.
Peace, fam.
All right. Peace.
All right, y'all. Got to be on the move. Getting stuff handled. Read the Bible. The Bible talks a little bit about this stuff, but listen. The Bible has been expanded or expounded upon. They one up the Bible a few times by now. Real science. So, if anything, people will be reading the Bible for scientific references, and then they'll go and figure out how they can complete those references or those thoughts and build on those. But the Bible ain't gonna teach you science. It's gonna talk to you about how some stuff happened. You still ain't gonna know. They say you don't even know what is going on. They say God knows. You don't know. That ain't gonna help us. Science means to know, so we put ourselves in the position to know. And anybody that's becoming scientists, they're doing exactly what Jesus wanted them to do, because Jesus said, "You will know the truth according to your book. You shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free." Not just believe. And the word "know" is the etymology of science. So scientists are doing what Jesus said do. Maybe not all of them, but the principle is still the same. Did Jesus ever live in Memphis? Jesus was homeless. We're going to talk about that tonight. Jesus was homeless. He was on the move constantly. He even was saying like he don't have no home. Son of Man doesn't have a home. We'll talk about it. All right, I love y'all. We'll come back. Make sure y'all come to class tonight. Go to Faise One YouTube, FAISEONE on YouTube. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll be on there tonight. This shadow talking about how Jesus was homeless, as a matter of fact. So the brother is not off when he said, what if Jesus came back as a homeless man? Look at how people handle people that they think is less than low for the low and not living like the King of Kings. King of Kings, he wasn't riding around in no golden camel, I guess. he wasn't balling. You know what I'm saying? And he was telling the rich niggas, give your riches away. See, so we'll talk about it. We're going to get into it. Oh, it's going to be a different degree. So y'all know I can get into different bags. So it's going to be a different degree tonight. We're going to the temple. All right. I love y'all. Peace in the land. It's truly wonderful. I do.